Okay, this is Rudy from Rudy's Chart-Based ETFs. So this video is about an introduction to what are ETFs. Okay, so ETFs are something that are listed on a stock exchange, and their job is to track an underlying set of companies or an underlying commodity or an underlying set of companies that work in a certain space like technology. So there's actually probably 1,000 different financial indices out there. But in terms of ETFs in Australia, there's 360 of them, all listed on the stock exchange. And as I'm a chart man, I'm going to explain it via charts. So what we're looking at here is the all ordinaries, well, the ASX 300. So when you hear, the index is closed at 8,070 points today, that's the end result of this chart. So this chart tracks from this one's going from 2022 up till today. So this is as at the 5th of March, where the Australian 300 index is. Now this index you actually can't buy on the stock exchange. But it basically tracks the top 300 companies. So what that means, if we look at, these are the top 10 companies that make up the ASX 300. So you've got BHP, the miner. Don't mind all the fancy trend lines and what, that's what I use as my job. Commonwealth Bank, CSL, National Australia Bank, Westpac, ANZ, Wesfarmers, Macquarie Group, and Woolworths. So as you can see there, of those 10 stocks, not many of them were going up like that. So that's why the index is now starting, because that's just the top 10. So there's another 290 stocks that make up this index. But that's why our index is starting to trend down, and why I think this index is going to come down further, because these are the big heavyweights that make up a lot of the index. So that's the index, and so that's not an ETF. So if you want an ETF that tracks that index, then there's one put out by Vanguard, which is called VAS. So if you go onto the ASX, if you've got if you want to buy a share, like you want to go in, you type BHP. If you go in and type in VAS, then you'll get this. So you can see the chart mirrors the index, except you see the prices are different, because this is an index, and this is an ETF, which is built to track that index that you can actually buy or sell on the ASX. So it's effectively giving you access to the top 300 companies in Australia. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. As another example, if we just look at, so the VAS, this one here that I was talking to you about, is very popular in Australia with investors. If we look at, say, okay, so again, like the ASX 300, this is the NASDAQ 100. So this is an American. So this is the top 100 companies in the technology space. So this has got all your Googles, and Alphabets, Facebook, all those big, like Apple, Microsoft. So you can see they've gone up a lot. But again, this is a financial index, so you can't buy it, but you can go onto the Australian Stock Exchange, and you can buy it. It's called NDQ. So it's a betashare ETF. And once again, you can see it tracks the performance of the index. So it basically gives you access to the top 100 companies in America. Now, it's not only companies that ETFs can track, they can also track commodity prices. So this is the actual price of gold in the financial world. So this is what people are buying and selling for gold, and you see it's looking very bullish. So tip, buy some gold if you can. But you can't actually go in the market and buy the gold. So you have this thing here, which is an ETF. So again, it's called gold, but that's just you can have, because this gold isn't listed on the stock exchange, whereas this gold is, and you can see the prices. This is so this is the actual price right now, $2,917 an ounce for gold, but the ETF, so it uses a different pricing scheme, but it's still the same thing. So what happens is this ETF actually holds a whole bunch of gold in a big safe somewhere. So when you're buying it, you're actually buying your share of the gold in the vault. Actually, so I should also then qualify that the same as the nasdaq. So while this is the index, which consists of the top 100 companies, this ETF, the way it tracks it is it actually purchases the actual shares that make up this index. And the same with VAS. So VAS, the ETF, so they're using your money to go and buy buy underlying shares that make up this index. So there's sort of like a vehicle that gets you easy access to like the top 300 shares. So instead of going onto the stock exchange and buying 300 different shares, you can just do one purchase to get the ETF. All right. Well, I hope that explains to you what an ETF is. And it's my job to basically pick the best ETFs going around for ones that are going to make money. And at the moment, my money's been in this one, the gold ETF. I think it's going to go further. And I think the nasdaq, I think that's going to fall over. But anyway, that's a different topic. All right, if you enjoyed that, let me know. Thank you.